Racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists include, quote unquote, radical traditional Catholics, or RTCs. The document assesses with high confidence the FBI can mitigate the threat of radical traditional Catholics by recruiting sources from within the Catholic Church. I think once upon a time, I wrote a book about this. Maybe. But I think it's just, everyone just said it's a conspiracy theory, right? It's not real. The document goes on to say that RTCs, radical traditional Catholics, are typically characterized by the rejection of the Second Vatican Council, and they prefer the Mass in Latin. There's also an adherence, they say, to anti-Semitic, anti-immigrant, anti-LMNOP, and white supremacist ideology. Now, I was at Latin Mass this past Sunday, and I can honestly tell you that at the traditional Latin Mass that I was at, I looked around. I don't racially profile a Mass when I'm at Mass, but this report had come out. And I looked around. I was like, is this a white supremacist gathering? It was the traditional Latin Mass on Sunday morning. And I'm honestly giving you the demographics that about maybe 40% of the congregation were white, appeared to be white. And the remaining 60% were about 30% Hispanic or Latino and 30% Black. So in the Mass that I was at, traditional Latin Mass, I, as a white male, was in the minority. I was a minority at the traditional Latin Mass. And I thought to myself, how funny is it that this report comes out, it gets leaked, that we're a bunch of white supremacists, when in reality, most of the people at this Mass are not white. Then after Mass, I was very touched. There was an icon of Our Lady of Czestochowa, which is the Polish Madonna, also called the Black Madonna of Poland. And I saw this young woman, probably in her mid-20s. By the way she was dressed, I think she was African. Like born in Africa, not African-American, but she seemed to be African. And she was lighting a candle to the Polish Black Madonna and stood in front of the votive stand and the icon. I could tell she was praying. I could tell she was very devout. This was after Mass. And once again, I thought to myself, we aren't racist here. I praise and laud this woman's beautiful Catholic faith. I just sat in the pew next to her with a bunch of other people worshiping the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Has nothing to do about race. In fact, if you read the Apocalypse, the book of Revelation, I cover this in my latest book, Antichrist and Apocalypse. At the end, it says Christ came to redeem and take as his own every tribe, tongue, and nation. We are truly international. We are Catholic. Catholic is a Greek word. It means according, kata, holos, to the whole, universal, according to the entire planet. That's how we are as Catholics. And yet we've got government agencies labeling us white supremacists, anti-Semitic. Meanwhile, we're praying the rosary with the Blessed Mother and Jesus Christ, both of the tribe of Judah, ethnically Jewish. Our first pope is Jewish. And you're saying that we hate the Jews and that we're white supremacists? Let me tell you what this is. This is the weaponizing of government to persecute Catholics. And if you're watching right now and you're saying, oh, Taylor, I'm not worried. I'm not a traditional Catholic. I go to the Novus Ordo. It doesn't matter. They're not going to stop and say, oh, we just want Catholics who go to Latin Mass. It's incrementalism. They're after all of us. They're weaponizing government agencies to hunt down Christian. You may be watching and say, oh, I'm not worried. I'm evangelical. I'm Eastern Orthodox. I'm Protestant. Doesn't apply to me. I'm not a traditional. They're coming for all of us. Tucker Carlson covered it. He called it the hunt for Christians. And they're using our federal organization, the triple letter organizations. You know what I'm talking about. And they're going to persecute us. It could be lawsuits, imprisonment, just wearing you down, legal fees. This is how it works.